You've just tuned in for the newest transmission of Rice Against the Grain. We're going to get things started here in just moments. Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me. Today's episode is going to be fire. Going to be spitting my truth. Let's see if you can handle my truth. Take time to smash that like button.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I was muted there for a second. Thank you for tuning in for today's live stream. Give me a 5x5 if you can hear me. I greatly appreciate you taking time to join me on today's live stream. You can't handle my truth. I'm going to be explaining it all. People have been asking about my path on the legal fiction law area, what I'm doing, who I endorse, who I don't, and why. We're going to be covering that and a whole bunch more on today's show. I may be hurting some people's feelings today. I'm going to go over all the different people that I've interviewed in combination with Stan Barabbas from Bodhisattva Love, who happens to be in the house today. We were doing interviews back in 2020 together. I'm going to go over all the different people I've interviewed, where I stand with those individuals, whether I endorse them or not, why. And I'm going to go over some other teachers. I'm going to be exposing some information later on today's video. Some people have been asking me about the information I'm going to be sharing about David Straight. I'm going to be sharing some information about him. Going to be updating some information about Russell J. Gould. No, I am not endorsing him either. And I definitely got some explaining to do about Matrix Freedom. And that's just a few. But we're going to cover that and much more on today's show. Make sure you smash that like button. And here we go. Before we get into it, take time to visit my website at ricetvx.com. There you can sign up for my mailing list so you can stay up to date on all things Rice. Once you've signed up for my mailing list, you will find links for my channels and socials towards the top of the website. Make sure you are subscribed to both of my YouTube channels, Rice Against the Grain and Rice TVX. If you want to support my work directly, as well as get early access, exclusive content for both channels, plus more, join my Patreon. All right, and before we begin, because I still want to give everybody time to join us in today's live stream before I really get into the heart of today's video. So if you would like to support the channel, there's several ways you can do that. But one way that you can do that and also look out for yourself, your family, your friends is to stock up on some non-perishable foods via My Patriot Supply. Make sure you visit prepwithrice.com. And you can take advantage of these special deals. It supports the channel. You get some discounts. So it's definitely worth it. I'm going to have some information scrolling across the bottom of the screen right here. So here we go. Right now, they change up their deals every month, but you must visit prepwithrice.com. prepwithrice.com. prepwithrice.com so you can save money on some non-perishable foods. You're going to hear a lot of information on the news, the mainstream, about food shortages, because everything that took place last year is going to start to culminate this year. Not as many crops were planted last year, etc. There's a lot going on. People are aware. I've been talking about this on previous episodes, and I will be covering this more. But every month they change up the deals that they offer over at My Patriot Supply with these special offers for Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain viewers and subscribers. So it changes up every month, but this month what they're offering up is a 3-month emergency food kit. It's over 2,000 calories per day, 21 varieties, up to 25-year shelf life, made in the USA. Total weight's about 120 pounds. It's sealed into 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. It's shipped fast with free shipping included. And it's discreet shipping as well. Plus, they're throwing in a water filter system free, the Alexapure Pro water filtration system. It's valued at $279. All of that together you can get for $797. It's normally over $1,000, almost $1,100. But with this special via prepwithrice.com, you can get 3 months of non-perishable food, 90-day supply, plus this water filter system for free, the Alexapure Pro water filtration system. And all that is $797. The second offer that's being available is a 2-week emergency food supply kit that's going to be $127. So be sure to take advantage of the 3-month food kit. Take advantage of this free Alexa Pro water filtration system. I've got one coming, so I'll update you guys on what I think about that. But I do appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in. And again, that is a way that you can most definitely support the channel. So I want to go ahead and see what everybody has to say in the live chat. And I need to double check that everything is working on the Rumble live stream. To let all the Rumble viewers know, I cannot see the live chat via the StreamYard aggregator. So I'm going to have to come back and forth and make sure that I'm looking at the comments over there. We have 7 people watching on Rumble. I just set it up, I think, late last night before I went to bed. So everything is good on the Rumble side. 8 people watching over there. Again, if you're watching on Rumble, I cannot see the live chat, but I will keep coming back and checking on what people have to say. All right, so let's go over to the live chat and give a shout out to everybody in the house. Last Border is joining us. Thank you. Dime Bar, good to see you. Bodhisattva, this is Stan, my good friend. Emily Hart, thank you for tuning in. Phoenix Transcendence, thank you for being one of the lifetime members for my website, and I'm trying to get that website built, so I want to keep everybody updated on what's going on. All right, so we have Jewel of Aquarius. Hi, all. Much love back at you, Phoenix, and to all. Again, I appreciate everybody for taking the time to tune in. Dime Bar is obviously a comedian, and this, unfortunately, is definitely not true. 100% not true, just so everybody knows. Mary says we can swap war stories. I'm not sure who you're referring to, but sure. Keep that private-ish, private. I will be talking about private versus public 100%. Janos Kowalski, it's been a while since I've seen you on the channel. Good to see you. Quick Mithril, thanks for joining. Bobcat, thanks for tuning in. Never tell the truth to people who are not worthy of it. When in doubt, tell the truth. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. I like to be transparent, and it's long overdue. I've been on this journey for several years, so this is definitely long overdue. First time to my channel. Interesting. What brought you here, Mary? Thank you, Emily. I appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Bobcat. It's good talking to you, man. Hit me up. We'll be available tomorrow if you're free. This is something I tried to get to the bottom of myself. Really glad to see Rice covering a topic. It's one of the main reasons I watch. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. And thanks for the spelling correction. The truth is not for comfort. It's for liberation. It's not a medicine. It's a killer. And the truth doesn't sell. And that's probably one of the reasons why my channels don't do well, is because I don't blow smoke up people's asses and feed you guys a bunch of bullshit like a bunch of other people do. And it's very unfortunate. All right. New World Crypto. Sean, it's good seeing you, my friend. Thank you for tuning in. Gary's Guzzler, I appreciate. I'm not sure if you guys are into the legal fiction law stuff, but if you are in for a hell of a ride. So got a lot to share on today's video. Going to be changing up the information that's scrolling on the bottom of the screen. If you guys would like to support the channel, there's ways that you could do so down below. You can also take an opportunity to smash that like button. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. Oh, and I'm going to be talking about the private versus public stuff, but I am doing a fundraiser for a website. I've got 10 spots left for lifetime access. If you want lifetime access to my private website, because I will be operating a lot more in the private, and I will be explaining that here in just a bit, doing a fundraiser, 50 people will get lifetime access. 40 spots have been filled. There's 10 spots open, and you're also going to get a special gift, a swag bag of Rice Against the Grain and Rice TVX swag. And that's all for just $100. You can email me at ricemediagroup@protonmail.com. I'm going to be getting in contact with all the people that have paid and get everybody's addresses and get these items shipped out once I get the last item for the swag bag. But what I will share is I've got these promotional wooden nickels here. These may not look like something special, but they are something special to me. This is going to be one of the items that are thrown in. That is the only thing that has more than 100 printed. Everything else, stickers, pins, patches, and other items, there are no more than 100 of each of these items, so it's very, very limited edition. These are two of the coolest things. These are the patches that I've got. This is 2x2. This is just a little bit smaller than a 2x2, but it's actually a little bit wider than this one here, just by a tad bit. You can see they're PVC. They've kind of got, you can see the ridges. You can see all the texture to it. The Rice TVX, it actually glows in the dark. The blue glows in the dark. And the Rice Against the Grain does not. But they both look really cool. They will be included for the 50 lifetime members. There's 10 spots left. $100, you get lifetime access. They have the Velcro backing, so they can just stick to many things. Right now, I just got them sticking to each other because I don't have anything wearable with Velcro that you could see. I have a backpack that's got some spots you could put some Velcro stuff. So anyways, that is what's going on with the fundraiser. I'll be talking more about that as we progress on because of the way I'm going to be operating in the private and the public. So before I go over all the different people that I've interviewed, the people that I do not endorse, the people I do endorse, and why, trying to make sure I'm pulling up some information so I can refer to this a lot easier. Okay. So the first thing that I want to say, I started on this journey of researching the law really seriously, like diving into it in 2020. I would say by May-ish of 2020, maybe a little bit before that, after I met Stan Barabbas, we started going down that rabbit hole together. And when I got involved, I had heard about things in regards to some of the legal fiction stuff, especially the driving versus traveling argument, because I had been driving without a license. I had a suspended license. So I had looked into those things and just never really found a lot of any information that really solidified that there was any validity to anything that was being said. Since everybody can hear me, I'm just going to take this out of my ear so I don't hear myself as I'm talking. If there's any problems, please let me know in the live chat if you can't hear me, if there's any hiccups. But when I got involved fully, I didn't have any ulterior motive with wanting to get involved with learning about the legal fiction. And what I mean about that, and this is the reason why I haven't taken any steps and followed any methods, but I will be following methods, and I'll be talking about that on today's show, because I did go and visit KL a few weeks ago, and Stan actually went with me, and great conversations that I had with KL. Speaking of KL, I encourage you guys to send your prayers out to him. He is dealing with a return of cancer. I would just love for anyone out there to send positive energy and prayers to KL and his family and helping him get past this cancer that he's dealing with. If you're one of the patrons or private members, there was a video that I released with KL that Stan was a part of. pregame is what I called it, pregame with KL and Bodhisattva Love and Rice TVX. And in that video, you can actually see KL's, so his left side of his neck. You can see this really big tumor on the outside of his neck, and he's doing what he can. He was a medical doctor, so he definitely understands medicine. And I know a lot of people have been sending information about suggestions and things that he could do for his health. But if you're a spiritual or religious person, I ask that you please keep KL in your prayers and send some positive energy and vibrations to him and his family. It would be greatly appreciated. So to continue on, and I'll talk more about KL in just a little bit. When I went to visit KL, it was right at the very end of March. So a little bit less than a month ago, about 3.5 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago today, I believe. Yeah, because I spoke at Truth Tour 3 on March 31st. So yeah, that's 3 weeks ago. So March 31st, spoke at Truth Tour 3 in St. Petersburg. And 2 days before that, me and Stan went down and recorded privately with KL. And we did that because of the, obviously what I just said about the cancer, which I'll get into in a little bit more here in just a moment. So I want to talk about the types of people that get involved, from my perspective, from my research, from interviewing people, from having a channel, having viewers, having comments, having emails. The types of people that are interested in this information, the studying the law, the legal fiction, understanding all of this, having a full comprehension of what this legal fiction trickery is all about. And there may be more than what I'm going to be listing as far as types of individuals. But the first type of individual are those that are in some sort of legal trouble or trouble with the law that they're trying to get out of. As I mentioned, my first time looking at this information was because I was driving around without a driver's license, a suspended license. I was trying to get out of trouble. I couldn't find the answers at that time. And we're literally talking 2005, between 1998 and 2005 is when I started looking into this information. And it really wasn't a lot of information available on the internet. And there was nowhere near the amount of videos, because I don't even think YouTube was even out then. So the research aspect was not the easiest thing, but that has changed a lot. So there are those that are in some sort of legal trouble or some kind of trouble with the law, whether it's driving, whatever the situation might be. Okay. Then we have those that have CPS issues, Child Protective Services. Now, I have a daughter. I don't talk about her very often. So I understand that people want to protect their children, especially if their children have been taken away from them, especially if their children have been taken away from them unjustly, or they're dealing with some sort of criminal repercussion for whatever the CPS is saying is going on. CPS is not a very honorable operation by no means. But again, a lot of people who have CPS issues end up looking into this information. 3, we have people that are greedy and just want access to money, to currency. They want to get access to some sort of trust that might have been created at their birth, whether this is like a Sestate K trust, a Sestate KV trust, a common law trust, whatever people want to call these things. Some people are getting into this with the idea of greed. Then we have those that are genuinely interested in learning for the sake of learning, that are willing to put in the work, because this really does require work. You also have those that are wanting an easy way out, that are looking for someone to save them, that are looking for some sort of template system, that are looking to basically fill in their name on the blank on this piece of paper. And they think that any situation where they're dealing with a police officer or sheriff or law enforcement or whatever the situation might be, flashing this piece of paper is going to get me out of trouble. Even though I have no clue what this piece of paper says, what any of this information says, I cannot back it up with my own intelligent words, which means you have no standing, but yet you are seeking out help from another individual with a template system so that you don't have to do any work. And again, so there are those that are genuinely interested in learning for the sake of learning, that are willing to put in the work, that are willing to do the research, that are willing to sift through the lies to find the truth. And I've been taking my time at this. I mean, I've been trying to explain to people, I haven't followed anybody's methods up until a week ago, a week and a half ago. I have not started anything. I had plans to start things, but I had not started any path because I didn't see the proof. I didn't see the evidence. And the one individual has provided that to me better than anyone else is KL, as far as the methods that others teach. Now, whether or not KL stuff works or not, I have to apply these things in my own life to be able to determine if they work. I've had many conversations with KL, numerous hours, spent 2 days with him. He definitely knows what he's talking about. And what he teaches, he not only is doing for himself and teaches others, but he's also doing it for his family as well. He's got a second wife. He's got stepkid. He's got 2 children from a former marriage. All of his children, stepchildren, and his current wife are all doing the paperwork. He's helping them out. He's getting them through the process. So it's not a matter of pushing something that he's not actually proven himself for himself. Now, again, for me to know if this is going to work, I know at this point, I have to apply these methods. And I'm going to be changing a lot of how I operate moving forward. I'm going to have to vet people. I'm going to have to go through a process of vetting people. And I did that a week ago with the gentleman that I'm going to be bringing on the show next week, because I need to make sure I'm not bringing on anybody that's going to cause harm, because I'm going to be going over all the different people that I've interviewed over the past few years and explaining to people those that have caused harm, those that are putting out bad information, misinformation, disinformation, whatever the situation might be, controlled opposition. I'm going to share my thoughts, my truth based on my years of research, my years of interviews, and having a better comprehension of this. So the vetting process is going to be a big thing. I'm going to be taking a lot more things into the private because there's only so many things that could be shared publicly. The interviews that I did publicly with KL are great examples of things that we can share publicly versus things that we cannot share publicly and have to be in the private and remain in the private. So anyone who's going to be charging for a course, a PMA, a PCA, that those stand for Private Membership Association or Private Contract Association, or any information that they're going to be charging for, I need to go through an extreme vetting process, for one. And two, I'm not going to be doing those interviews publicly. The only way I'll do an interview where somebody is charging for their services publicly, if it's a course that I find to be educational, that's going to provide value, that doesn't provide hopium, that's not a template system, that's just basic good information and education for you to learn. And a good example for that is my interview with Dr. Frederick Graves from How to Win in Court, the jurisdictionary course. That is a relevant educational tool. But somebody who's charging a private membership agreement or private contract association agreement, charging for whatever, whether or not it's valid information or not, I'm not going to be doing it in the public. I'm not going to be promoting that anymore in the public, because I've promoted a lot of people who've made a lot of money, and some of those people have been very, very dishonorable to me. And so again, I'm going to be cautious about entities charging and the vetting process, and a lot more things taking place in the private. I'm going to be very, very vague about the information that's going to be shared more on public levels. It's just how I have to be moving forward, and it's something that I've learned is in my best interest. I want to take a moment real quick to look at the live chat, and then I'm going to continue on and see what everybody has to say. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to tune in for today's live stream, and I do ask that if you have not, please give this video a like, a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed here as well as my other channel, Rice TVX. All right, so where did I leave off at? Okay. Thanks for sharing that link, Dime Bar, prepwithrice.com. Get yourself some non-perishable food, stock up, support the channel at the same damn time. And definitely smash those like buttons. I greatly appreciate that. Deb, I appreciate. Thank you so much. Just send me an email when you get an opportunity. Good seeing you again, David. Lone Wolf, good day. Truth Seekers, good day. Good day, sir. Trying something new. I did it yesterday. I live streamed on Rice TVX. I'm standing up. I've been sitting down for years doing these videos, and this actually feels really good to be able to move around, do my thing here. Probably screws up sound, but anyways. Thanks, Sean. A lot of people definitely love what KL is doing. And I got a KL playlist over on Odyssey, which I'm going to be sharing here in just a little bit. Mary saying, I learned from many great law mentors and friends in law through the years. So hopefully maybe some of this will resonate with what you've experienced on your path, because I've seen a lot of things that were just not really good, in my opinion. Thank you, David, for sharing that. I appreciate Jason's Brothers channel. Interesting. I'm definitely a follower of Jesus, 100% of Yeshua. Jewel of Aquarius. Frogsy, that's actually one of the channels I was going to recommend today. I do like Yusuf. Yusuf is good people. So if some people can deal with, Yusuf and his delivery, I love it. He's super educational. I will be sharing the people that I haven't interviewed that I endorse. The people that I haven't interviewed that I don't endorse, I really can't speak on. I can only speak on the people that I endorse and why. I can go over the people that I've interviewed and explain my situations with that. I'm glad a lot of people have said that. Travis Turner, I've actually had Paul Enslaved on. I'll talk about him when I do the video, when I go over the people I've interviewed. But Paul hasn't really shown me full evidence of what he does as being successful. He's had some success in what he's doing. I think out of like 3 or 4 different times that he shared information with him dealing with police, I think he got out of it one time. If you consider like that to be success, I don't consider that to be success. When you have a police officer that might be cool, that just doesn't want to deal with the headache because, you seem to know what you're talking about. Just because a cop lets you off a situation doesn't mean that you're successful in what you do, because you're going to get pulled over by another cop and not be successful. And that's exactly what happened with Paul Enslaved. I haven't been following his content lately. So hopefully he's progressed as an individual. I like him. You said it. I didn't. Mary, I've actually reached out to Aaron and Jay Griff, trying to get in touch with them. They've been covering the law stuff, but they seem to be a little lost as well. And I tried sending some messages, and I've had some communication with Jay Griff on Instagram. So hopefully I'll be collaborating with those gentlemen, trying to help clear the smoke away. I'm glad that you think that Paul Enslaved is great, Dime. Thanks for sharing. And again, I'm sharing my truth. I'm sharing my truth from my perspective of research and interviews. Not really familiar, but Mary, if you have anybody that you would suggest that I check into, I would encourage you to email me, because it's going to be hard for me to take note of all the different people that might be suggested on today's live stream. So if you got anyone you want to suggest that I check out for an interview, especially those that are not charging for their services. I'm not against those that are charging, but I have to go through an extreme vetting process. to be able to do the interviews. And as I go through the different people I've interviewed, you'll understand why. If you cannot speak to it, it's powerless. And I'm sure, Lone Wolf, you're referring to what I was saying with the template system, because people are just looking for this cookie cutter template system. They're looking for a hero. They're looking for hope without having to do the work. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Good to see you, the pothead. Bodhisattva says the most important place to start is with oneself. Move out of the victim mentality. Is not the system matrix that is the problem. It is your ignorance of how the system, the matrix, is designed. Couldn't agree more, my friend. It is our ignorance that is the problem. There are few who will succeed in this endeavor due to the depth of self-work required to reach the Rubicon. Good luck to those who endure the path. I'm shocked at only 35 online for this. The master's still asleep, I guess. I'm heavily shadow banned. It's just part of what I've been having to deal with the channel for years. This video will catch up because I'm going to be talking about a lot of people, and this video will get shared because there's a lot of people that are interested in Russell J. Gould and David Straight. There's a lot of people that want to know why I don't support Matrix Freedom, and they want to know about where I stand with the people that I've interviewed in the past. People are asking whether I've taken people's courses. I'm going to cover that and much more. We haven't even gotten into that part. I'm just kind of breaking the ice to kind of give you a little scenario about what I've learned about the people that are interested in this subject, how I'm operating moving forward. And then after I'm done with this part of the live chat, I'm going to go through the different types of teachers and gurus. Then we're going to talk about the people I've interviewed, the people I suggest. I'll do a little positivity before I go into the interview stuff. So I do appreciate if you guys would share this video. That would be greatly appreciated. Let's see. New World, you are old if you listened to when Art was on. Definitely. I think I remember Art hosting Coast to Coast, actually. Yeah, Joel, just Joel of Aquarius, some suggestions here. It looks like Kirk's Law Corner. I think I've spoken with. I'm getting confused with some of the Kirks and Kurtz. There's a Kurt Pendergrass, I believe, and there's Kirk's Law Corner, and there's another. I'm not sure if it's who I've spoken with, but I believe Kirk's Law Corner definitely is on my list. I'm not sure about Rod Class. Any of this information, I would definitely encourage you to email it to me. That would be greatly appreciated. I got a lot of love for Alphonse. I don't really know Big Siv very well. I've been trying to actually invite him on my channel, but he's acting like he's dealing with 100 court cases, and I don't even think he's really an attorney. I don't think he's practices law in that capacity. So I'm not really sure why he has so many different court cases. And it does seem like him and Alphonse can do live streams, but it doesn't seem like he can make time to do a conversation with me. So it is what it is. I can't really speak on Big Sib because Big Sib doesn't make himself available. I am having major issues with my monitor. It just keeps flashing over here. I'm hoping it's not about to die. I can still see things on one screen. I've got two monitors. I got my laptop over this direction, and over here I've got a big monitor where I can see. I'm definitely trying to get Yusuf on. It's not been easy. I've been trying to get in touch with him for quite some time. So I'm going to try a method to get in touch with him, and hopefully that will work. Quick Mithra Rice gives so much. If you can't pay him back, at least pay it forward. That's all I ask. Not everybody can definitely afford to become lifetime members, become patrons. I completely understand, but I definitely greatly appreciate it. Let's see here. I've heard of the law of Boris Lone Wolf. Just haven't had a chance to look into his information. I believe Diamond Bar might have been one that suggested law of Boris, as well as a few of the viewers of the channel. Bodhisattva says the Yusuf has the best real life experience than anyone currently sharing this information in the public. That I would say is definitely probably true. I don't think there's many that stand equal to him in the public educational side right now. 100%. All right. Looks like we just got some chat going on with everybody here. You should have me on your big show, Shooter. We can even smoke. Lone Wolf, you're more than welcome to contact me and let me know why you feel I should interview you. I unfortunately don't invite every single individual on that wants to be interviewed. I got to have a purpose for that interview to fit within the parameter of what I do with my channels. So if it fits on Rice TVX or Rice Against the Grain, shoot me an email and let me know how and why. Thanks, Jewel. I appreciate it. Dime says, I have really looked at Boris. I'm assuming that's a good thing. I'm digging into the usufruct now, angle now. Boris is a tough cookie. Cool. All right. So let me make sure I got everything on screen the way that I want it to be on screen. All right. Okay. So now going into the teachers, I talked about the types of people that are interested in learning about the law, the legal fiction. Now the teachers. So you have those who I feel are controlled opposition. That means that some entity is coerced them into mixing lies with truth, teaching the wrong information purposefully, maybe to avoid trouble themselves. I don't have any actual factual evidence of these individuals being controlled opposition. Again, this is just my truth that I'm sharing from my perspective of my years of research and my years of interviews. So this is my perspective that I'm sharing, but I'm pretty sure most of you who like my content is going to find my perspective to be valid and interesting. Then we have those that are blinded by ego. Their ego doesn't even allow them to be wrong, doesn't allow them to be open to new ideas, and it doesn't allow them to work with others. There's a lot of people that fall into that category. We have those with ulterior motives to gain monetarily that have no proof, evidence of their claims, of the things that they teach, of the things that they're saying that they're offering to people that are paying them, and not even doing those methods themselves that they're selling to other people. Ulterior motives to gain monetarily. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that are just gullible. There's a lot of people out there who do not want to put in the work. There's a lot of people out there who are looking for someone to save them. There's a lot of people out there who want that template system, that cookie cutter system, who don't want to put in the work, who have no clue what's written on those pieces of paper, who verbally couldn't speak that in any capacity. Where if a law enforcement officer or a sheriff or whatever the situation might be, they have an interaction with this individual, the individual pulls out their piece of paper, the cop takes it and rips it. What are they going to do then? So it's, the reason why we have people out here that are preying upon others is because there are others to be preyed upon. Unfortunately, I call a lot of these individuals Kool-Aid drinkers. It's as if you've joined some cult and you're blinded by the truth. You can't see the truth, and when it's right in front of your face. A lot of those individuals, these teachers, these so-called gurus, do have ulterior motives that are gaining monetarily, that do not practice what they preach and have zero evidence to back up any of their claims. Some people legit don't know their information is wrong because they don't actually practice or put into action what they claim that they know or they've learned or they've done. And there are those that vicariously learn from their students. I've heard many situations that when an individual who's learning from a specific teacher has to go to court, The teacher wants all the information reported back because the teacher doesn't have the balls to actually go into the court and do these things him or herself. They have to use their students to live through vicariously so they can act like there's been successes and non-successes and use these people as examples, but not actually do the things themselves. And then there are those that if people really cared about sovereignty and really cared about everybody being self-governing, everybody being in the same position as far as a living man or woman or however you want to term that, they would be willing to work together. One of the things that I was trying to achieve early in my interviews back in 2020 was trying to pull together all these different teachers. I thought that they all had a piece of the puzzle or a couple pieces of the puzzle, but they didn't have the puzzle themselves. They didn't have the whole puzzle. They just had a couple pieces, maybe a piece. But if we could bring together these people with all these different puzzle pieces, then maybe we can actually put together the puzzle. And that really sounds good in theory. It's easier said than done because a lot of these individuals don't want to work together. A lot of these individuals have worked together and either screwed each other over or just don't like each other anymore. So, and there's a lot of screwing each other over going over in this entire space. There's been people that have been researching this pretty heavily since at least the early 90s, but it even goes back further with certain individuals. But the sovereign citizen free man on the land movement, that was all in the 90s. And there was a state citizen movement going on back then, just as there is today. It is what it is. All right, so let me go ahead and check out what everybody has to say in the comments, and then we're going to continue on. I want to talk about some positive things. How do you contact me? I have my contact information in the video description, and let me see here. Bear with me a moment. I can't, it's like for some reason I can't see things. Here is my email address at the bottom, ricemediagroup@protonmail.com. And then you can find this information in every video description as well. ricemediagroup@protonmail.com. And if you guys want to get access to my private website, there's only 10 spots left for the lifetime access. Beyond that, once the website's launched, it's going to be a monthly membership, and I will let everybody know the terms and conditions because it will be a private membership agreement. All right, so again, if you guys are enjoying this video, please take time to smash that like button, give this video a thumbs up. It would be greatly appreciated. And I'm going to go ahead and do another screen share. So the first thing that I wanted to share is a lot of people, I went to go visit KL, as I said, with Stan Barabbas at the very end of March. KL has had a return of cancer. He's not a spring chicken. And in case there was issues that happened with him medically, I wanted to make sure that we were able to capture his methods and his teachings. And he was in agreement with that. I mean, this is a conversation that we have had for quite some time of trying to record these things, his teachings. But once the return of his cancer came about, he took it a lot more seriously. And at the very end of March, we recorded all of his private teachings. Now, I cannot do anything with those recordings until KL gives me permission to do so. So they will remain private until KL says otherwise. But there is a video that me and Stan and KL did right before we started recording all the private stuff that's available on my Patreon channel and for private members. The Patreon channel I will be getting rid of it and phasing it out. So once the website's launched, I'll be doing a 60 or 90 day notice that I will be phasing out Patreon, but you can still access these things by becoming a monthly patron. That way you're not getting charged on the months that I'm not continuing. So if you do want to support me on Patreon, you can do so. And that information I'll throw up on the screen real quick for my Patreon is going on the bottom of the screen. If you want to get early access to videos, the unedited stuff, exclusive content, the Patreon link is going down below. So, people are going to send me emails. Again, the private teachings that we recorded with KL are not going to be released in any public fashion at all, ever. Never, ever will they be released publicly. That will not happen. Again, there's going to be a difference between private and public and how I operate moving forward. But that information will definitely not be out publicly. It will not be released privately until KL gives me permission to do so. But out of all the different people that I've interviewed, I am now going to apply KL's method. So I have started the process. Right now, what I've done is ordered multiple copies of both of my birth certificates. And next week, I'm going to be looking into doing what he talks about with a name change and DBA. I'll explain a little bit more about that, but that's my next step with him. What KL tells everybody, if you're going to contact him in regards to learning from him, is first, you need to watch all the videos that he did with me. Also, and all the lessons is what I mean, because we did 2 lessons back in 2021. And then we redid the lessons in 2022 with additional lessons. But the original 2 lessons that we did back in 2021 have a little bit varying information and additional information that weren't included in the 2022 lessons, which is why he encourages everybody to watch not only all the video lessons that he did with me, but also the videos that he did with Crow from Crow 777. You guys can check out his website. I believe the first hour of his videos are available for free on his channels. I believe Crow 777 is still on YouTube. And I put together a playlist over on Odyssey that's got all of the KL videos all together, because the original 2021 lessons are not on Rice Against the Grain. I have not uploaded them, and I'm probably not. I'm going to leave them over on Odyssey, and I will also be putting them on the private website. So I am going to be following KL's method. I'm also going to be doing, I'll show you. So this is lesson 1. It was split into 2 videos. This is lesson 2, split into 2 videos. And this is lesson 1, 2, and 3 of 2022 of the newest lessons. So these are all the KL videos. You can find this on my Odyssey channel by going to the playlist section. You see this right here? I will go ahead and copy my Odyssey link. This is down below in the video description as well. All of my videos, the majority of my videos that I've ever put out, are available on Odyssey. So I'm going to drop my Odyssey link in the live chat. The channel's ricecrypto. It's a blockchain-based protocol. I cannot change the channel name, but as you can see, it does say Rice TVX. Let me go back to that screen. All right. So go to the playlist section. I have a playlist for Fool's Gold, Russell J. Fool's Gold, and I have a playlist for KL. So this is the playlist for KL. I'm also going to be doing this passport method. I'm not paying attention to this verbiage right here. These words right here don't mean anything to me. It's the method. The method that's being taught with this. I'm going to follow this method with some additional changes that KL has recommended that I do. It tells you how to fill the forms out to apply for your passport. I need to get a passport, so I'm going to be doing the coppermoonshinestills.com website method in the next 2 weeks. I'm planning on doing this. So I will update everybody about the name change, the DBA, and the passport application process within the next 2 weeks as I get them done. What's the next thing here? These are positive things that I'm going to share before I go over teachers. If you guys want to get a heads up on some interesting information, you could check out passingbucks.com. After this live stream, I'll make sure that I copy the links with everything shared on today's video. I didn't have time to update the links in the video description, But after I'm done with the live stream, I will update all of the links I'm sharing on today's video so that you guys can check this out yourself. This is probably one of the most powerful websites that you're going to see. Some great information here. I'm not going to talk too much more about it. I'm just going to share what you see here. There are 2 books available on this website. I have ordered volume 1 of that book. And that book is right here. Volume 1, Art of Passing the Buck. Secrets, Wills, Trusts. Volume 1. PassingBucks.com. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just like Forrest Gump. That's all I'm going to say about that. Always do your own research. You guys want some good foundational knowledge? I always recommend Justinian Deception. Romley and Rohan is not putting out videos. He is out of prison. Romley is scared to put out videos. They've been threatened. They have a lot of issues they're dealing with the Australian government, with local law enforcement. But this is some of the best foundational knowledge you're going to find on the internet. Great foundational knowledge. And the videos generally aren't very long. You can get through these fairly quick. Some videos are longer than others, like the birthing certificates, talking about the 2 births. Rohan Lorian, this is the guy that was locked up in jail. He's partners with Romley. He is out, but he's been ordered to not produce videos in any fashion. And Romley is, like I said, Romley is a little bit in a precarious position because of the threats the government has done. He has family. He has children. They're not little children, but he has children. He has people's lives that are being affected by his actions. I suggested that he and his family leave Australia like Max Egan did, but I don't know if that's an option for him. This is the website, justiniandeception.wordpress.com. Principles of trust, law, governance, being, master-servant, slavery, arrangement. There's a lot of information here that's not on the Justinian Deception website. I encourage you guys to check this out, the concept of modern slavery, grammatical crimes, corporate governance, the presumption of a foreign military occupation of our country under the foreign control of Rome. A lot of good information on this website. One of the best resources I can endorse. I've been trying to get Romley on the show. We do communicate periodically, but he's just not doing interviews. He's shared some information with me on some of his research and stuff. But again, after the live stream, I'll make sure I put links for all this stuff in the video description. Ken Cousins is somebody else who I've been talking to privately that I definitely need to get on for an interview. We haven't spoken in several months, so I have no clue what's going on with him. But I have not heard anything negative about Ken Cousins' work. I haven't heard anything about being harmed, screwed over, being promised something that they didn't receive, buy something they didn't get, whatever the situation might be. And if and when I do the interviews with Ken Cousins, depending on what we're going to talk about, those interviews may be done in multiple parts. It may be some parts will be available publicly, and then other part might be available privately so that we can speak more openly. But there's gemstoneuniversity.org, and I'm not vetting. I'm not telling you to join either, any of this stuff. I want people to do their own research. The Justinian Deception information is completely free. Okay. I believe there may be a charge to join the PCA. There may not be a charge. I have not looked into the charges for Gemstone University or Pantera PCA. So Gemstone University is the educational form of what they're doing over at Pantera Dioro Mutual Benefit Society. It provides education, tools, and resources for members of the society to achieve true freedom in all aspects of their lives. I encourage you to do a deeper dive on Ken Cousins. He did an interview series. Let me see if I can find that with Sean McGuire. That some of the best information that he's put out there. Ken Cousins, Sean. Let's see how if this comes up. Yeah, you guys can go to the Gemstone University YouTube channel, which is free. If we go to their playlist section, the Sean McGuire interviews Ken Cousins. These are like 13 interviews, and they're all like 2 hours each. So this is like, if you listen to this solidly, you can listen to this in 26 hours, 27 hours, 28 hours. One video is hidden. So there's 12 videos, and they all average about 2 hours each. So 24, 25 hours at the Gemstone University YouTube channel. So let me go ahead and take this back over here to where so I can have that information out there. These are really great interviews that explain what Ken Cousins is doing, what he's learned. Somebody that I've interviewed in the past, Robert Michael, who I will be talking more about, someone who I no longer endorse, no longer support. I've said this in previous interviews with him and to him privately, that Robert Michael likes to use Ken Cousins' work and pretend like it's his. So if you want to learn from the man, I would just say go directly to the source and learn from Ken Cousins versus learning from Robert Michael. Robert Michael is one of the individuals that had an opportunity to make apparently a good deal of money off of different subscribers and viewers of the channel that reached out to him. And when it came time to honoring an agreement that he had promised me, he decided that he wanted to not honor that and basically end our friendship and end our relationship. This is the Pantera Private Contract Association, a mutual benefit society. It's part of the express mission and purpose of the Pantera D'Oro Private Society that's established in May 20th, 2001 as a private mission society. Corporate sole, Office of the Overseer. The PCA is a membership association created by private contract, established and styled as a mutual benefit society. And when you learn about Robert Michael and what he's doing with his thing, it's a complete ripoff and complete copy of Ken Cousins, Pantera PCA, and Gemstone University. And it's sad that he's an unhonorable individual. But as I go through the teachers, I will cover him in more detail. The other individual that I definitely 100% suggest that you guys check out is Yusuf L from High Frequency Radio and SPC University. This is his YouTube channel. This guy is hardcore. He knows what he's talking about. Very, very educated. Definitely encourage you guys to check out High Frequency Radio, Yusuf L, all of his YouTube videos. He also has a SPC University. It is You Have the Right to Privacy. You could sign up for membership. He does charge. I'm considering paying. It doesn't seem to be inexpensive necessarily, but it seems to be very valid and valuable information. So if we look on registering, it will take us through here in just a moment and show us the different memberships. So weekly class, I'm not sure if it's $35 to attend a weekly class on an ongoing basis, or if it's just $35 to attend the class. Then there's also a monthly membership, a yearly membership, and a lifetime membership. That you'll have complete access to all of his recordings, his website, and weekly webinars via yearly, lifetime, monthly, and week class. I'm not vetting this by any means. I'm not telling you to go sign up at all. I'm telling you to do your own research on the things that I'm endorsing. I do endorse Yusuf L, SPC University. Stan has vouched for them. I trust Stan. Stan has been a part of learning from Yusuf as well. So I definitely 100% am on board with promoting Yusuf. I listen to Yusuf Yusuf's been in the game for a long time, and he definitely knows what he's talking about. There's Clint Richardson, somebody who I've interviewed. I definitely like him. I need to get him back on the show. He's got a free book that you can download over on strawmanstory.info. The book is like 1,000 pages. It's intense. Let me see if I can get this thing to open up. Yeah. 1,146 pages. I encourage you guys to donate. If you can afford to donate, you can donate. You can make a donation for print it to get the but yeah, it's a great book. I haven't read the entirety of it, but it's very informative from what I have read. 1,100 pages, 1,146 pages, lots of information. It's small print. I mean, this is a lot. This is going to take somebody a lot of time to be able to read. When you can look through the information and you're in tune with yourself, you can discern the truth from the lies. This is something I need to work on better for myself, is discerning the truth from the lies. Okay, so before I get into talking about some of the people that I've interviewed, I will be coming back to the live chat here in just a moment. So we talked about different types of people that get involved in illegal fiction. We talked about how I'm operating moving forward. We talked about the different types of teachers and gurus. Stan was saying that 35 is 1 week membership. 119 is monthly membership. Okay. Thanks for explaining that. Just a 1 week membership. Let me go back to see where we were with the last comments, and we'll continue going on with today's video. Get into the meat of it. Let me see if I can get this other screen share going on. I'll leave this up on screen for a minute. These are teachers that KL has learned from. KL sent me this. So you guys can write down these names. You guys can check out these different teachers. We have Robert Menard, Sam Davis, Johnny Liberty, Winston Shrout, who I'm familiar with, Brandon Alexander, Gordon Hall, Jack Smith, Dean Clifford, who I'm familiar with and have interviewed several times, John Harris, Kurt Kallenbach, somebody who I've been trying to get in touch with and would like to interview. I've heard the name Eric John Phelps, but it might have been from KL, and then a gentleman by the name of Rourke. Some of these people operate mainly in the private, but these are people that KL has learned from directly. Take time to sign up for my mailing list as well over at ricetvx.com. Okay. Going back to the live chat. Trying to find the last place I left off without being repetitive. Half the herd will follow the herd. Had to be this way. This is the way. Ego jacks up so much. It definitely does, and it's very disappointing. The 5 rules of the game. Follower and believer in Christ, likewise, and we are definitely free as believers and followers. Love it, my friend. Thanks for sharing, David. I believe there are 10 rules to the game. Some call them commandments. Love the wittiness. If they see each other's competition, then you have to question their real motivation. Exactly, but that's the problem with some of these Kool-Aid drinkers is they join this cult, and this cognitive dissonance sets in, and they can't see the truth right in front of their face. Appreciate you sharing this crazy Telegram group. That thing is a mess. Half the people in that group don't even watch my channel. The stems from the fall of man, my guy. Well, the root of all of this, I've said, is spiritual warfare. So I agree with you, Prophet Bear. And I appreciate your prayers for KL. Blue Water Pines, correct. Unfortunately, many cannot observe what we indigenous elders have cleared. We have done the heavy lifting and have already explored much of the trending content we observe and do not judge. Very interesting. Very interesting. Love to learn more about you, Blue Water Pines, too. And you can go to crow777radio.com for the first free hour. Let's see here. Definitely great content coming out of Crow's side. I did have him on the show one time. Buddy is saying that rules of the game, one, there is no money. It's all units of account. Public and private, fiction and real cannot mix and do not mix. It's like oil and water. Do not engage in public plays or public controversy. Do not argue. 4, stay in honor at all costs. 5, always be prepared to sue. You sound like Mr. Stampy. Mr. Ion Stump. I'll let you know how this works out for me. I think I'm going to be doing it the very beginning of May, if I'm not mistaken, because a week from today is my birthday. I'll be 48 next Saturday, the 29th of April. Definitely check out passingbucks.com. Some of the best information you could buy, 100%. The first book, I think, is about like $60. I think I paid like 70 something with shipping. And the second book is like closer to $600 because just because. Check out the website and you'll understand more. That's all I'm going to say on that. Thank you, Blue. Appreciate it. Me too. Me too. It's unfortunate, what's going on in Australia and what he's dealing with. Dime, interesting. Okay. Let me see here. Let me get rid of this list. Remove. Stop screen share. Present. Okay. We'll include a link for this, but this document that I'm sharing I've shared this a couple times, but if anybody's interested in learning, kind of seeing what is being spoken from a law enforcement perspective, whether it's police, sheriff, whatever the situation might be. This is a document that came out from the UNC School of Government in November 2015. It's a quick guide to sovereign citizens. It talks about what is a sovereign citizen. Some of the words used vary things from Moorish Nation to the Aware Group, Washita Nation, the North Carolina American Republic, Republic of the United States of America, and so forth. The same views may be embraced by freemen on the land, Sons of Liberty, and Aryan Nation. Not sure where that got mixed in, but what they believe. What do these sovereign citizens believe? North Carolina appellate cases, because this was written from a North Carolina perspective. This is the School of Government for the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Names of their organizations, identification, and buzzwords. So these are the words that police officers are listening and paying attention to. Why is that not covering the wholeness of this? There we go. Words like straw man, de facto government, conveyance rather than vehicle. You can see all the different things that they use as buzzwords. Below are some unusual words or phrases or manner of punctuation or writing that are commonly used by sovereign citizens reflecting their beliefs. Some of their words are legitimate legal term in the proper context, but are meaningless in the way they're used by sovereign citizens. For example, The UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, indeed exists, and it is important for law for commercial transactions, but it has none of the purposes ascribed to it by sovereign citizens. It would take a long time to explain why sovereign citizens speak and write the way they do, or the meanings of these particular words. Just be aware of the recurrence of these ways of communicating is one indicator that the person is a sovereign citizen. So you guys can check that out. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get to some of the meat of the stuff. Still going to be sharing some information, a lot of information exposing some BS about David Straight, another individual who I do not endorse in any capacity. I've had communication with David Straight since 2020. He was supposed to be on the channel several times for interviews, never made it. One of those or two of those occasions were supposed to be with Stan Barabbas, so he can attest to waiting and never having David Straight appear. But I've spoken to him several times. I have his cell phone number. When I saw the Vice News article come out and having information being shared about him not really being in the Navy or being a Navy SEAL, I communicated with him and asked him if he wanted to show evidence and proof that he was, in fact, in the Navy and a Navy SEAL. And that just started a whole line of defensiveness from him. And then he got rude. And ultimately, he's not accepting an interview now. I don't know the guy's last name, and I really don't care. Some dude named Bobby who lives inside of David Straight's ass. I tried reaching out to him via Ann Vandersteel. She had got us both in communication with each other because I and KL shared some information with Ann Vandersteel. Bobby was texting me, but as soon as I mentioned negative things about David Straight, of which Bobby lives inside of his asshole, he decided he didn't want to continue communicating with me. So I was trying to give both David Straight and the thing living inside of his asshole an opportunity to defend David Straight any capacity that they could. So it is what it is. But he's definitely leading people down a wrong path. So I think I'm just going to go ahead. I've shared some little tidbits. I think people are going to want to hear this information about David Straight. I think people are going to want to hear this information about Matrix Freedom and the update. My beef with Russell J. Gould, the Fool's Gould. So let me go ahead and let me go full screen so everybody can see this. And let me go to the bottom of the document. I was trying to remember where this came from. It was sent to me by KL. It's a former student of David Straight's. So this is an 18-page PDF. There's something you see on screen, screenshot it. I'm not sending this information out to anybody. I've hooked people up with KL's documents. Do not email me asking me for a copy of this. If you want any of the information that's on this, you can take screenshots because I'll make sure I share everything that you see on the screen. And I'm sharing it full screen. And I'll even enlarge it a little bit. So, before I continue on with this, I want to go ahead and get rid of this lower third banner because this is distracting. Let's see where we're at with the live chat, and then I'll continue on because a few more people have said some things. David Wynn Miller, I don't have anything negative to necessarily say about David Wynn Miller. I never communicated with David Wynn Miller, but his work was hijacked by Russell J. Gould, who I refer to as Fool's Gould. I do not support Russell J. Fool's Gould in any capacity. Since we're here, I'll just go ahead. Again, you can go to my Odyssey channel in my playlist section and see my Fool's Gold playlist, it'll say I do not support or endorse Russell J. Gould or the quantum grammar in any way. I'm not saying that there's no potential validity to the quantum grammar. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it would take someone so long to learn this quantum grammar. There's no point to it. You can clarify things in your own contract writing. Or if you want to hire somebody that it's claiming to be an expert in the quantum grammar to write your contract, fine. But there is no actual need for it. It's like you learning French so that you can write the contract in French too, as well as English. So you have French and English so that you cannot have any mistake of what you're saying because it's communicated in two different languages. Same concept, not worth the time. What I will say is I did do the 2 interviews at Russell J. Gould with Stan Barabbas. I do still have the interviews up on Odyssey if you want to check them out. The reason I let them up is because they're in a playlist that says I do not support or endorse Russell J. Gould. This is the reason why when I said at the beginning of the video about me having to go through a vetting process with people, because I've interviewed so many people that turned out to be pieces of shit. Not everybody that I've interviewed turned out to be pieces of shit, but several of them. And this is probably the biggest turd of them all. And David Straight's running a close second with them, but this is the biggest turd of them all. Russell J. Fool's Gould. Why I don't support or endorse him. No honor, no integrity, a reaction to a War Castles video that they put out against me. Sergeant Robert Horton, for the record, if you haven't seen Sergeant Robert Horton's interview with me, it's in this playlist. Fool's Gould is trying to attack my channel and my free speech. So not only his press secretary / girlfriend / handler, Rachel Dara Princess, she attacked my channel with a copyright claim, and Russell J. Fool's Gould himself from his email attacked my channel, my free speech from YouTube. If you want to try to, because when I talk about Kool-Aid drinkers and cults, this is the worst. The quantum grammar cult is the worst. That's the only thing I can really say without trying to make people feel bad about themselves. But if you have been conned by Russell in any capacity, you need to watch this playlist. If you know people that have been conned by Russell personally, you need to share this playlist. You need to share the information that I'm sharing on these videos because I've actually challenged him and he just won't accept my challenge. He won't respond, but he will send his community after me. He has no honor. He has no integrity. I'm not going to rehash all the things that are in these videos. If you're familiar with Fool's Gould, watch the playlist. Get acquainted with the shit that I had to deal with him and his community. No, I do not support the quantum grammar in any capacity. And I'm glad that you're not sure what to make of them. And hopefully, Frogsy, hopefully, I've woken you up to the fact of you don't need to waste your time with this waste of time. Definitely those Passing the Art of the Buck books have a lot of great information. From what I've been told, because I haven't read them, but I've listened to interviews from several of the different people that contributed to the book, and I'm extremely impressed. Let me go ahead and see what everybody else is saying. Dimebar says, Frogsy, quantum is cool, but quantum grammar takes it to an absurd level. If you get really good at quantum grammar, you sound like an idiot. Yeah, that's why I refer to Fool's Gould also as the colon master. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Blue Water Pine 2. Next Saturday, a week from today, April 29th, is my birthday. Yes, it is an oxymoron. I realize that, and I've mentioned that in several videos, but I'm just reading what the article says. Alphonse is a sovereign citizen according to his lawsuit in case that supports that. He did cover that on my 4th interview with Alphonse. Alphonse, I do love, got a lot of respect for Alphonse. I don't agree with everything that Alphonse has to say, and he doesn't agree with everything that I had to say. But when it comes to his knowledge of the legal system and law, He knows his shit. Kind of like saying I'm a man person. Okay, man person. Let's see if we have anything else here going on before I... Gary would hate to live in someone's ass. Do you support David Straight? No. David Straight is a clown. He's a fraud, and we're going to be covering that a little bit more here in just a moment. I need to check out more often. I need to check more often. It's a little better when we catch you live chat. Yeah, I try my best to keep up the live chat. Thanks for tuning in, Melissa Mouth. Gary says, I have lived inside of someone's ass before. My roommate was a POS. You had a roommate while you lived in someone's ass? Interesting. Somebody emailed me about this gentleman. I'm still trying to feel him out. Still trying to vet him out. He looks like he's pro David Straight. I'm not really sure what to think about this Paraclete Edward J. Robin. I am looking into his channel. That's all I can say for the moment. I have zero trust for the parakeet fella, as bad as Fool's Gold. Interesting. Thanks for sharing your perspective, and it is your perspective. Fools seem to be streaming presently. Their plasma is not in resonance with the heliocentric harmonics of goodness. It's a great way to sniff out who's actually full of shiz, though, is interviews. That's the best way to see whatever they are really getting at. Yeah, that's like my interviews with Kim Gogan, which have nothing to do with the legal fiction, really. I interviewed her 5 times, and she really couldn't prove anything. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. I went to go visit her. She couldn't prove it. A lot of these individuals cannot prove what they say, unfortunately. Russell definitely owes Pimpy money too. So Russell has contracted with Pimpy to do some contract work, I think, with a mortgage. Never did the work, never returned the money, and that was it. So he stole and lied from Pimpy. He did the same thing with Honor Von Reitz. Honor Von Reitz had hired Russell to do something for American States Assembly. He got paid. He never did the work, never returned the money. So he lied and he stole. He's done that with several different individuals. If you learn from Russell directly, if you happen to be that special, or you deal with Russell directly and you don't understand Russell when he explains something one time, he's done talking with you. He's going to cut you off. He thinks you're stupid, and he's just going to put you out. People that are doing these live claims with Russell may actually be giving power of attorney to Russell J. Gould. And if you don't understand what giving power of attorney is, you may want to research that, because you need to do a little digging, because we're not going to give you all the answers here. You need to be one of those individuals who genuinely wants to learn for the sake of learning, who's willing to put in the work, who's not looking for someone to save them, who's not looking for a cookie cutter template system. You got to be willing to put in the work. Okay. Miss V, it's good seeing you as always. I wrote a contract in Klingon. It was more valid than the quantum grammar. Sweet Melissa. Kim couldn't even answer a question without a question. Too much sidestepping. Or she couldn't answer a question without saying right. The Pimpy I love, down to earth and plays it straight. Careful what he says, in my opinion. Other side of things is a great channel, I feel. Yeah, he just doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to play the YouTube game of censorship. He just talks and gets his channel videos taken down and gets strikes and all kinds of issues. It's unfortunate. So that's what I was going to say about Russell J. Gould. Check out the playlist. I don't want to rehash much more than I've already rehashed, but there's a lot of information here about my challenge to Russell, why I don't support him, the fact that there was no response to the challenge, and there's also a reaction to a video that people in the quantum grammar community had made a video about me. This is an interview with Sergeant Robert Horton. This is Russell J. Gould and his Cullen Master handler, putting copyright strikes against my channel. In these first two interviews that we did with Russell, we gave him an opportunity to perform. We gave him an opportunity, me and Stan, to prove what he was saying for years. Since 1999 or something like that, he's been claiming a bunch of bullshit, and he can't back up or prove any of it. And we gave him an opportunity. And after he basically didn't take us up on the opportunity to prove himself, and I encourage you to watch the interviews because you'll understand exactly what we're talking about. Where we're at. Russell is a liar. He's a thief. He's a non-performer. He has no integrity. He has no honor. He's a coward. Russell J. Gould is a coward. He won't even accept my challenge. And I literally was like, however you want to do this. You know, I just wanted to challenge him for his position as Postmaster General. Whoever won got the position and captured the Title IV flag. And if it was me, and it was going to be me, I was going to bury that flag and I was going to kill that position and end Russell J. Gould's bullshit. Because that's all Russell J. Gould is putting out is bullshit. And if you're one of these Kool-Aid drinkers falling for Russell J. Gould and his quantum grammar cult, I apologize. I'm trying my best to dilute that Kool-Aid. Okay, so going back on full screen, we're going to go ahead and share the information about David Straight. Are we clear that I do not endorse or support Russell J. Gould? Are we clear that I do not support or endorse Mr. David Not So Straight? Are we clear that I do not endorse or support Mr. Ian Clifford Stamp for Matrix Freedom? Are we clear that I do not endorse or support Robert Michael with whatever the hell he calls his house of bullshit? And right now, I'm kind of undecided about Anna Von Reitz. We'll get into Anna Von Reitz here in just a little bit. She's not too far off from David Straight. David Straight's problem is when you mix in enough lie with truth, it's really hard for people who don't think for themselves to distinguish that truth from the lie. Did that make sense? Okay. Problems with David Straight's processes. First, a note on status correction. It's a piece of paper related to one status. State national is not who you are. This is a particularly true word because the word person is used in the USC, that's United States Code definition. I have heard recently from a man who's been involved with status correction as a state citizen look up several SCOTUS cases on differences between state citizen and citizen of the United States. And he believes the only time one has a status as a state national is during a time of war declared by a properly seated Congress. This man corrected his status from citizen of the United States to state citizen foreign national about 2004. He believes the status correction was important to his felony criminal indictment charges being dismissed in 2006. This gentleman is currently working to declare himself a free sovereign inhabitant on the land. Now, I don't know who this person is, but this person wrote this document. We're going to be talking about the affidavit of repudiation and the potential alternative declaration of status. The problems with the affidavit of repudiation. I have heard David Straight claim that this affidavit of repudiation taken from Mel Stamper's book, Fruit of a Poisonous Tree, is his own words in his seminar. I doubt the validity of this claim. The copy of David Straight's own AOR that I received directly from him is dated 2019. The book is from the 1990s. Unfortunately, Mel Stamper has passed away. We can't validate David's claims with the author. I don't believe this claim unless David can substantiate this claim. And I did give David an opportunity to substantiate claims. So the book that's being mentioned, I do recommend that you check the book out. I can't vet the book 100%, but it is a good book. It's worth learning some information from. And if you can distinguish truth from lie, this book might be what exactly for you. It is called Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. People like Ann Vandersteel has promoted it. But again, David Straight claims that Mel Stamper, who's now dead, was his student. Melvin Stamper, JD, Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. You're more than welcome to get a copy of the book yourself. I encourage you to do so. All right. Moving back on. Let's keep it going. I knew this was going to be a long live stream because there was so much information to cover. I didn't want to split this up. I needed to get all of this out so I can get this off of my chest. Let me real quick, before I continue with this David Straight stuff, after like interviewing some of these individuals and realizing that these individuals were causing harm and I should have vetted people better, hearing a lot of conflicting information from one teacher to another, where one says this is correct and that's not correct, and then another says no, that's not correct, this is correct, and no one can agree on something being right. You're being thrown in multiple different directions. I literally was just going through a burnout period. I had to put myself on pause from researching anything law, legal fiction related, from doing any interviews or anything. I had to literally just allow for all the information and all of my thoughts and all of my feelings, kind of like a snow globe. I felt like it was shaken up and I had to wait for everything to settle so that I could take everything in a better fashion. And I'm pretty well out of the burnout phase. I mean, I'm back into doing the interviews. Again, I will be covering here in just a moment after I'm done covering the David Straight BS and the Matrix Freedom BS. I will be going over all the different people I've interviewed, who I still endorse, who I do not, and why. So we're going to go ahead and continue on. I will come back to the live chat here in just a little bit. Gary Guzzler says, I used to drink Kool-Aid as a kid. Now I can't stand it. Love it. Love it. All right. So I can't 100% vet that all this stuff on here is true about, some of the stuff that is written in this document is going to be speculation. It's going to be this gentleman's thoughts. So we have, as of April 2022, the statenational.us has been selling model affidavit of repudiation documents that David has told people is correcting one's citizenship status from the citizen of the United States to a state national status. This AOR, short for affidavit of repudiation, is modeled after David Straight's 2019 AOR, and to the best of my knowledge, is chock full of real problems. The concern multiple people have about this OAR is that it may serve to pin you down as a domestic terrorist by the feds. For this example, the title of David Straight's 2019 AOR is Affidavit of Truth and Assertory Oath, Repudiation and Revocation of Citizenship. It's impossible to revoke one's citizenship without going through expatriation by leaving the country. And I've studied about expats and expatriation, and he's 100% correct. On page 203 of David Straight's 2019 AOR, it reads, I hereby assertively repudiate and revoke my citizenship, if any ever existed, with the legal fiction known as the United States. On page 26, it goes more information. Page 29, more information. I'm going to go ahead and leave it here so people can get some screenshots. If you'd like to get a screenshot, get that moment to do so. Page 2. The following are some of the citizenship questions you will see on various government forms, styled in a way to deceive you out of your rights secured by the original Constitution of our Republic, United States of America, and original state constitutions. They have stopped using the term state citizens on all forms for the purpose of constructive fraud. Remember that a state citizen is not a national of the United States, but a national of the United States of America. See 8 U.S.C. 110-1101A21. The term state national means a person owing permanent allegiance to a state. Read U.S. code, people. That's a state citizen. 22, the term national of the United States means a citizen of the United States. Or B, a person who, though not a citizen of the United States, owns a permanent allegiance to the United States. The term naturalization means the conferring of nationality of a state upon a person after birth, by any means whatsoever. So you got a chance to screenshot that. Estimated money and time drain of David's AOR method. Other problems. LexisNexis. David told me August of 2021 seminar. After viewing my consumer credit LexisNexis report of over 72 pages, that I failed to ask for the full and complete report. When I asked what that meant, he was adamant that there's only one way to obtain a full and complete report. When I asked how, he walked away from me. He couldn't provide guidance. It caused a lot of frustration. Based on what I've since learned about LexisNexis, that only judges have access to a full and complete report that contains someone's status. As of April 2022, I had not seen a single man or woman verify their status has been corrected via LexisNexis. There's a what to do about this. Go ahead and screenshot this if you're going to screenshot it. I'm not going to cover everything in this article or this 18 pages because I will be doing this video for multiple hours and I don't have any plans to do that. But I do have plans to get all this shit off my chest. Screenshot here. The passport is government property. This is talking about the state national passport problems. The passport is government property per Title 22 CFR Section 51.9. Also refer to page 5 of passport, which reads that this passport is property of the United States government. Only citizens of the United States government can be in possession of United States property. Also, it's a crime to alter or deface this passport document per 18 USC 1543. On page 5 of the passport, it reads, only authorized officials of the United States or foreign countries may place stamps and make notations or additions to this passport. Oh, there's that guy who lives in David Strait's asshole's last name, Bobby Lawrence. And David Straight stamped the passport for people. David Straight and Bobby Lawrence, the man who lives in David Strait's asshole, stamped the passport for people. They have been actively encouraged people to have stamped it in red by themselves at seminars or something like the following statement: American State National, limited diplomatic immunity, do not stop, do not detain, 50 state concealed carry. Okay, hope you got a screenshot of that. Go ahead and screenshot this. Problems of miscellaneous processes David teaches. The deeds of reconveyance. David's document says the one writing this document is a trustee, while TJ Henderson does not say this. I don't know enough about this, but from my current studies, being the beneficiary seems better. I don't know. One should never be a trustee in their dealings with government. I do know one should never be a trustee in their dealings with the government. I do also wonder where this document comes from, if the document was taken from TJ's material. So what he's talking about there is David Straight is definitely and Bobby are teaching people that you want to be the trustee. The trustee is the one who has fiduciary responsibility. Fiduciary responsibility is you are the one who's going to be held accountable. The trustee. That's why KL teaches you to be the beneficiary. We actually call him Mr. Beneficiary, aka KL. Dr. KL, aka Mr. Beneficiary. You don't want to be the trustee. You can go ahead and screenshot this. Patterns of the patent of nativity. This document's fine. It's good to show your intent that your DNA was on the land before the country's government was created. So this is something good. The land patent obtained a grant deed. Please be aware a land patent grant does not access the allodial title. It should and has helped people, but is not guaranteed to help, particularly west of the Mississippi River. This has to do with various land treaties. However, you are still responsible for your mortgage because of your mortgage contract. Obtaining a land patent may not be a complete waste. I do advise you need to study and verify current, not overturned case law from both your state and your country to see what the issues and what the wins and losses are with land patents in your area before deciding to do this. There's more information about time and money involvement, property taxes. If you want to screenshot this, let me pull it up a little tiny bit more. You can go ahead and screenshot that if you like. I want to see what everybody's saying, and then I want to go ahead and continue on, just giving everybody an opportunity to screenshot. Blue waters, the frauds are running rampant. Those with honor and integrity rooted in truth are always getting thrown into the muddy waters. Yes, again, truth doesn't sell. People like being fed bullshit. They eat it up. Jules talking about giving, oh my God, giving power of attorney, no bueno. Yes, people who are doing live claims may be giving power of attorney to Russell J. Gould, the Fool's Gould. All the Melissa Mouse says all the self-imposed saviors of 2020 were full of shit, and none of the shit ever happened. They just turned expert at moving goalposts. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down so you guys can continue screenshotting if you want to screenshot. The God trust, I would like to study multiple different material in depth before forming and giving an opinion on this one, but I can definitely tell you there's no God trust. Mortgage payoff via pre-1965 silver quarter is a big fat no. Bonnie Allen Thomas, now Bonnie Straight, told us in a David Straight seminar in August 2021 that she paid off her $400,000 plus Chase Bank mortgage via a silver quarter. She sent a very simple document she used. I tried this using the document she sent with slight variation. My statement balance remained for the same for 90 days. I also stamped the rescission on the monthly statement times 3 and sent them back. Then I wrote on an affidavit to the mortgage company's legal department. After the 3-month mark, I got a letter back from my mortgage company's lawyers telling me such a notice is absolute absurdity. I waited nearly 4 months for this process to work before I realized we were nearing foreclosure. We decided it just wasn't worth it. P.S. Please know that after 3+ months of not paying your bills, this adversely affects your credit scores as well. Take note of that, people. TN of names is a big fat giant waste of time and money, in my opinion. I do not believe judges will acknowledge this in the least. David has told the story of Michael Jordan in his seminars to teach this process. However, you know that you are not Michael Jordan, and Nike lawyers don't show up to your traffic court. So David Straight has said that because his name is copyrighted, trademarked, that you're not allowed to hinder commerce, and if you do, then you're held liable. And if you own a trademark on a name, those people can't be in any situation that obstructs or that hinders their commerce, which would include you having a conversation with them. It's the most retarded, asinine thing that can truly be said. The invoice true bill of process. I'll continue here where you guys can take that screenshot. So for those of you that are taking screenshots, there's your opportunity. I'm going to continue going down. If you missed something, catch the replay. Get your shots. IRS Form 56 process. I was a guinea pig on this process for David Straight. I and a few others sent the Form 56 multiple times to the IRS in 2021. The process is how we needed to file it and what we needed to say was changed a few times. I found out the first form filing directions actually came from his personal assistants, who used some of Honor Von Wright's materials in instructing us on how to fill it out. I then publicly recorded the Form 56. I did not have enough connected neurons in my brain to comprehend that sensitive issue would be available publicly, viewed by the public for the rest of my life. And I did talk about teachers I vicariously lived through others. Seems like David would be in that position, and also taking information from other people in the space, using Honor Von Wright's information. So here we go. If you're going to get a screenshot, get your screenshot. Got a few more things to share about this. I know it's a long live stream, but you wanted the truth. How to remedy the errors made with this process. If you did not redact sensitive information before publicly recording this document, please immediately call or use the website for all 3 credit bureaus. There's the information. Get you a screenshot of that. Total time and money drain involved. Lastly, David uses stolen valor to scam patriots out of their time and money at his seminars. He has stated he was a Navy SEAL. According to multiple family numbers and according to a close friend with the highest level of clearance, there is David Strait, has never served in the military. Don Shipley, Navy SEAL, has also verified this. See the text thread below between Don Shipley and David Strait, where David admits he was never a Navy SEAL. Bottom line, always ask for facts, proof, and evidence of all claims made by every self-styled guru and run away from them when they can't produce facts, proof, and evidence. Now, I gotta delete a number. Somebody is trying to access my phone by sending me text messages. Be careful about getting text messages and stuff like that where people can actually access your phone and stuff. Just doing a quick little cleanup. I want to restart that. And then I'm going to pull up some of the text messages that I had directly with David Strait since I've tried to reach out to him. Now, I haven't done any continuous research to find out about this. If anybody's watching this and you know and you can answer these questions, let me know if this information has been updated. But we have a lady by the name of Crisia, I don't know, Nicole Strait Holt. It's David Strait's youngest daughter. She still had a warrant out for her arrest in Davis County, Utah, on felony child abuse charges of her son as of May 2022. So that was 11 months ago. I don't know if she is still in a position where she has a warrant out for arrest. But David prides himself on saving kids from CPS, Child Protective Services. In an August 2020 Riverton, Utah seminar, David Strait tells his audience that he is able to get the case dismissed within 15 minutes of walking into court. You can listen to that video recording. The paperwork shows Crisia became a state national. Her name is copyrighted. He suggests that doing those things directly benefited her case during that seminar. DS read to the audience from the document that he had used from her case as attorney, in fact, and alluded that he had helped get the charges dismissed. No, he didn't help her win her case. As of May 2022, she still had the same Utah felony warrant for second-degree child abuse out. Sources inform me that David told Crisia to run and hide from police. The father of the boy issued an emergency injunction via a court to obtain custody of his son. Crisia lost all custody. Sources say the boy only calls Crisia biological mom. My sources inform me that the boy was very traumatized by what happened to him and has ongoing therapy. David was named as a defendant along with Crisia on an emergency injunction request made by the father of the boy requesting company. Why? Look up these Utah court cases for more information. Take you a screenshot. David also told the audience to use the $250 trademark process while he drew a trademark after Crisia's name when he wrote that on the board. After researching this case, it's apparent Crisia used a free poor man's copyright in the paperwork for the case, which is free, not a $250 trademark of her name. That would be like you sending a document to yourself, using the United States Mail, Postal Service, USPS, and not opening the document saying that it has a government seal on it to timestamp it. They call that a poor man's copyright. This all suggests to me that David has lied. July 2022, the letter comes from Don Shipley, former Navy SEAL. He calls out people who are claiming they were former Navy SEAL when they never were. The verification from Don Shipley himself that David Lester Strait had never served one day as a Navy SEAL. I verified David as phony many times for many people. So there's information here where you can verify, what was said. Take your screenshot because I'm moving down. You can take your screenshot. And what I'm going to do real quick, just so people can understand, I practice what I preach. So I messaged him back in September of 2022 saying, "Hey there, David, I'm trying and been trying even after you canceled twice to schedule an interview. We have talked privately, shared much information, and it's time to make this happen. After all this time and us not making this happen, I'm questioning everything. Please accept my invitation to clear the air, David. Anna Von Reitz and David and Russell Gould, among others, have made time. I saw the Vice pieces on you when they came out, and they were not great, especially the talk of you not serving in the military in any capacity. I've established myself as a reliable and logical interviewer. I've done my research. If you cannot accept my invitation after all of this time, then I have to question you, David." This is me sending messages to David Strait. Now, I said, "I'm done asking. Accept my invitation or I'll resume with or without you, and sharing my thoughts and research." And this is his bullshit response. I'm just going to show you. And here's what he says. "I would love to accept your invitation. I just finished 36 hours with several hundred people, and it's 1:46 a.m. You want to question me? Come meet me at my office, or come to a seminar and see for yourself like thousands of others. I work harder, longer hours than anyone, and tomorrow I'm flying. I'll be in 2 other states this week besides Minnesota and Texas, and don't really have time for your interview. And please, if you are resorting to threats, then just know I've been vetted for many years by many thousands, having done this work since 1989. And my name is also trademarked, so you better be damn sure of yourself." Or like Vice News, who had many employees fired over that article, and before it hits the news, was forced to remove their story of slander and violation of trademark when I served them with suit. That video and those videos are still up on Vice and on YouTube on the Vice channel. "Much of my life is dedicated to the questions of things. The naysayers stink and don't understand what they're small thinking, so question all you want to, or face me man to man and eye to eye if you want those questions solved, where I can visually show you proof of all I do." And I said, "Proof of you serve in the military? Will you provide that along with proof that you are a Navy SEAL and show that you aren't using stolen valor?" He says, "I already have, and maybe you should first learn the definition of stolen valor before you use it. And because I had a less than discharge, I can't legally say I was. And you better understand what happened during the Reagan era and how 40,000 of us were affected." One, what the hell does that mean? I sent him some information from the document that I'm sharing here. And he says, "You send me a partial chat and then ask me for an interview. I'll decline. Again, maybe you should first learn the definition of stolen valor before you use it. Because I had a less than discharge, I can't legally say I was." And he repeats, "And you better understand what happened during the Reagan era and how 40,000 of us were affected." So I sent him the entire PDF that I'm sharing right now. Countless SEAL imposters show proof of their SEAL claims in the form of SEAL insignia, tridents, SEAL coins, SEAL award citations, SEAL training graduate certificates, which are unfortunately all available All available online. Numerous others get SEAL tattoos, photoshops of their faces on SEAL pictures, and alter actual military discharge papers to show SEAL service. Get your screenshot. Myriads of imposters claim that Navy removed their name from the SEAL database when they encountered trouble during a service, and nothing could be further from the truth. So this is just all BS of what is said by people who are claiming to be Navy SEALs, and they're not. Because, in fact, what David Strait was doing is, in fact, stolen valor. Get your screenshot. If you missed something, catch it on a replay. So these are the text messages between Don Shipley and David Strait. So Don Shipley was BUD dash S131 SEAL Team 1, SEAL Team 2. Please text me. I cannot possibly get to all costs. Thank you. This is one you really should return, David. No sweat. I'll get your phony Navy SEAL of the week up in a couple days. See ya. He says, this David Strait says, I was never a Navy SEAL and redacted the claim and explained, did it in public, apologized for how it happened, and asked for forgiveness. I received neither an honorable nor dishonorable discharge. Everything I teach is about the message, not me. So please accept my apology. And sincerely, this got way out of hand. I plead forgiveness. I was never a Navy SEAL. I redacted the claim and explained, did it in public, apologized for how it happened. And then it adds that most SEALs I admire and support, except for those that are trafficking children. He says, forgive most. So he says, I'm driving in heavy traffic. You never served a single day in uniform, is what the gentleman said. Never shot in the sternum. No Trump child trafficking. No special agent shit. 100% phony. And I'm tired of verifying you. You hit the top of the Google in a couple of days. Phony. You won't like me very much. He says, I spend my life trying to help others and have never worked for government, just private. Now, again, this is David Strait. Incidentally, regarding claims made about David Strait being on the Bundy defense team, I spoke in depth with Shauna Cox for several hours on different occasions during the spring of 2022. According to Shauna Cox, David Strait had very little to do with Bundy's legal defense team. She told me she believes David has an incredibly big ego and is taking credit for things he hasn't done. Shauna says herself was a big part of the Oregon lawsuit. And the Nevada lawsuits and the Bundy brothers, Ammon and Ryan, I have researched this and believe this to be the case. Shauna explained to me that she did try David Strait's state national process. She stated to me in spring of 2022 that David's state national process doesn't work and that it did nothing for her. She also stated that she paid David Strait's bills on a number of occasions. Shauna also relayed to me that when Ryan Bundy listened to David Strait and changed his status to state national while in jail, he almost lost his life because of it. That made it more difficult for him. She said the jailers persecuted him more. She told me they literally threw him down a flight of stairs to just try to kill him. She said all the prisoners really liked the Bundy brothers and were mad at the jailers for prosecuting the Bundys. David Strait has recently been sworn in by the Republic of Texas as a de jure ranger. The great counsel of the organization is none other than the fifth and present wife, Bonnie Strait. The great counsel of that organization is none other than his fifth and present wife, Bonnie Strait. The Republic of Texas is looked upon by law enforcement as a dangerous group of militants, combatants, and or domestic terrorists. And some of you might know that David Strait was recently arrested. You want to get in touch with them, you're more than welcome. I haven't actually looked. Let me verify if that number is what I have for my number in here. Yeah. Well, since it's there, so everybody knows, let me go ahead and share. So you see the numbers. Feel free to give him a call. He's a douche. I think that's pretty much it when it comes to covering the David Straight BS. But if you're one of these individuals who have fallen for David Straight, I'm going to be bringing on Payman from Freedom Law School. He's really understanding of the U.S. code, and he'll explain to you how a lot of these individuals like Audubon Rights, David Straight, and all these people talking about state national, state citizen, how they're actually, you're giving up rights. And I feel as if those in particular, I feel like Audubon Rights and David Straight in particular, along with the Bobby that lives in David Straight's asshole and all the people that surround him, I believe, in my opinion, are controlled opposition. I believe they've gotten in trouble, and this is their way of trying to rectify and get out of trouble, is to teach and spread mis and disinformation. So I hope you got all the screenshots that you need to get. Bonnie's had a couple issues of bringing guns into courtrooms. I'm not really sure what her deal with that is. I haven't looked this video up. How long is it? It's a minute long. Let's go ahead and do an audio share. I want to stop this screen share. I'm going to pull this up here. I haven't listened to this. I totally didn't see this. And if I had, I would have shared it, would have listened to it. I'll be coming to the live chat here in just a few minutes, so bear with me. It's a long-ass live stream. We got audio. Let me know if you can hear this, please.
I shot at that fox. It was 75 yards.
Can you hear that video? If you can hear that video, let me know. That'd be greatly appreciated. You should be able to hear it. David Straight is the first time I see David Crooked trademarked incorrectly, copy wrong instead of copyright. All right, let's continue on. Thanks for the let me know the sounds good, David and QM. Thank you very much. Here we go.
He caught them right there on the edge of that mud just before they get up into the pond. And there they are right there, like they haven't learned a damn thing. For some reason, those ducks don't want to get in that pond. They will be forced in there at night. That's the only time they go in. First thing in the morning, they get out. All the other ducks I've raised will stay in there most of the day. They'll get out to dry themselves, preen a little bit, and eat, and then they'll get back in. There's plenty of shade, but it's not been that hot yet. But that son of a bitch came out of nowhere, and I was ready for him. So I'm still trying to figure out what the hell the problem is with these damn ducks, because it doesn't seem like they've learned a lesson. I'm going to put this picture up I just took and count them. I took one
I don't know if this is the right video.
And I counted 117 ducks out of the 122 that I put in there with
that is weird. That obviously is not. Well, not good information. That's for sure. That's for sure. Okay. I don't think that was code. I think that was the wrong video for whatever reason. I'll come back to the live chat here in just a few minutes. Bear with me a moment. Window. Here we go. Okay, so that's the end of this. The next thing I want to share. First, I want to share this video. This comes from my Rumble channel or my Odyssey channel. You can find the same interview over on Rumble as well. It's an interview that I did with Simone Marshall from Empower the People. I'm going to put this video in the live chat real quick. This is about matrix freedom. So this original interview was on Rice Against the Grain. During this interview, let me find it so I can share it properly with people. There it is. So you can read on the screen here. It says, fuck. Okay. Ian Clifford Stamp. If you try to get this video removed for any reason, I will not relent on my onslaught against Matrix Freedom. Now, that video has been removed from my YouTube channel because there was a copyright claim put on it. I'm trying to pull the email up so I can share with everybody. So we're going to do another screen share. And I want to share this email. Dear Rice Against the Grain, and this comes from YouTube. Due to a copyright takedown notice we received, we had to take down your video, helping to empower the people with Simone Marshall. So you now have one copyright strike. If you get multiple copyright strikes, we'll have to disable your account to prevent that from happening. Please don't upload videos containing copyrighted content that you aren't allowed to use, which I wasn't using any copyrighted content. I have not countered this yet. And I said yet because I'm getting ready to counter it. Ian Clifford Stamp is claiming he's going to take me to court, but I've not received any sort of official legal notices or anything like that saying that I'm invited to court or need to be attending any court in any fashion. I did not share anything on Matrix Freedom. I'm allowed to talk about Matrix Freedom. I'm allowed to talk about Ian Clifford Stamp. So initially, just to give everybody a little backstory, back in 2021, I had interviewed Ian Clifford Stamp, then just going by Ian Stamp. After learning from other people, he decided to attach Ian Clifford to his name to try to appear as if he's important, like Dean Clifford, I guess, or his idiotic brother, Darren. I did the initial interview with him that I never released publicly. My intuition told me there was not something right with this guy. I definitely got off path spiritually, and in 2022, I was questioning myself. And I brought Ian Clifford Stamp on for 2 interviews that have since been removed. And some people have been asking me why I'm not supporting Matrix Freedom. It's, well, one, there's been no proof shown to me in any capacity that any of his information works. I will be bringing a gentleman that is known as Simon the White Rabbit, the Spaniard White Rabbit Trust. I will be bringing him on our show so that we can talk about this. I may talk to several victims that were involved with Matrix Freedom. This video, Ian Clifford Stamp may try to get taken down. Now, I'm mentioning him after 2 hours. I mean, I said a few things earlier, but now we're 2 hours into this live stream. He will probably try to get this video taken down because I'm mentioning his name, because I'm mentioning Matrix Freedom, because I do not endorse or support Matrix Freedom, Ian Clifford Stamp in any capacity. So let me just go ahead real quick and make sure that everybody's on the same page here with me. I, Chris Rice of Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain, do not support and endorse in any way the following individuals: Russell J. Gould, Fool's Gould, David Strait, Ian Clifford Stamp and Matrix Freedom, Robert Michael and the House of Shit, and Anna Von Wright's American States Assembly. Now, can you learn anything from these individuals? Certainly. If you're one of those people that can discern the truth, that can see through the lies and distinguish the truth. If you're not one of those individuals, don't play with fire because you will get burned. These individuals are really good at getting people to join their cults. So I've shared the information where Ian Clifford has attacked my channel to get that video removed. It's still available right now over on BitChute, over on Odyssey, on Library, and on Rumble in 2 separate places. So the video is not going anywhere, and I will counterclaim the issue that I had at the end of last month. I was traveling, going to Florida when all this happened, and did some traveling to go to Georgia as well. So now I have time to counter this claim. It's absolutely ridiculous. The one thing that I think that he is trying to use as his copyright claim, which has nothing to do with him at all, is, let me get this pulled up, is this website right here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this and put this in the live chat. If you guys haven't smashed that like button yet, I would definitely encourage you to do so, and I greatly appreciate it. I may end up chopping some of this video down into some clips to make it a little bit more digestible for people potentially. But if after the many years that I've spent doing the interviews that I've done with the plethora of people that I've done and sharing this video where I'm kind of getting everything off my chest, putting my truth out there, my experiences based off my research, my personal experiences, my interviews, etc., you should take the time to listen to the entirety of this video. Again, I may take some clips, I may make some things digestible, but overall, the entirety of this video is a culmination of all of my years of research of this legal fiction and what is the truth and what is the lies of all of this, because there is truth to this. It's just sifting through the plethora of lies. So this website will go over all the information about the negative things that Matrix Freedom has been involved with. It's very detailed with some information. It's a website is dedicated to exposing the lies and multiple contradictions of Ian Clifford, Stampy Stomp, and Matrix Freedom. The problems, I'm not gonna rehash it. You're more than welcome to read through it. The website's linked in the chat, and I will put it in the video description after this live stream is over. Actually, what I will be doing is I probably will be wrapping up the live stream here really shortly, just because we've gone on for so long. I will probably do a follow-up video where I go through all the different people that I've interviewed. But most importantly, I just wanted to let people know the people that I don't support and why. So check out, if you are one of the individuals that watched any of my Matrix Freedom videos, if you're one of the individuals that emailed me and asked me why I don't support Ian Clifford Stamp, Matrix Freedom, watch the interview that I did with Simone Marshall. Stay tuned for future content. Check out this website. You'll find all the information you need. This is not Matrix Freedom, so this is not Matrix Freedom information. So again, what am I using as copyrighted, Ian Clifford Stamp? Because you're allowed to mention copyrighted names. It's not illegal for me to talk about people's names. I can say Britney Spears. I can say Chumbawamba. I don't even know why the hell I just said that. I can say the University of North Carolina. I can say Rice University. I can say Joe Biden. I can say Donald Trump. I could say any word that I want to say. Because I say words doesn't mean you have a copyright on words and I can't say these words. So I will be countering your claim, Ian, and I'm not done with my onslaught of Matrix Freedom. But I just need to make sure that everybody understands that in any capacity, I do not support or endorse in any way Russell J. Gould, David Straight, Ian Clifford Stamp for Matrix Freedom, Robert Michael from the House of Shit, and Anna Von Reitz. I shared some information with you with people that I would endorse and I encourage you guys to look up more information on. But this live stream has definitely gone a lot longer than I was anticipating. I want to go ahead and see what everybody has to say in the live chat. And I think I want to wrap up and we will do another follow-up to this where I just go over all the teachers, just straight into that. So let me see what we got going on with the live chat. Will probably keep me here for another 15 minutes at least. Davey boy, good show. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate you tuning in. Yes, I'm just getting started on KL's process. David Straight saw a seal on a holiday once at a beach. Nice. Watch your doors, folks. Come on, Rice. I'm just trying to log into your Netflix. My kids want to watch cartoons. What's the verification code? Is that working for you? Yesterday, my daughter and I were getting the similar infiltration while on conversation. It is very disconcerting. Yes, it can be. I do like Santos Bonacci. He does have some good information. I do consider Santos to be kind of a number 2 to Jordan Maxwell being a number 1. So if you really want to get some good information, just go straight to the source, and that would be Jordan Maxwell. But yeah, Santos Bonacci, he does have some really cool presentations that he's done talking about the Vatican, papal bulls, etc. Definitely good stuff. Straight up text message from the man himself. I still need to send send my message. Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that. Definitely send your prayers and your love to KL. It'd be greatly appreciated. I got pictures of my social security number being traded. I'll show people if you want to see them. Traded by whom? What entity? What exchange? What exchange is your social security number being traded? And why is your social security number being traded? Please explain that to me, John Hodge. And please email me information. I would love to find your information. I like proof, facts, and evidence. I don't like people just talking out their ass. I have a serious question for all the capital letter people. If my birth certificate does not have my name in all caps, does that mean anything? From what I could tell, it's nonsense. Quick Mithril, check out my interviews with KL. The KL playlist you can find over on my Odyssey channel. Again, if you go to odyssey.com/ricecrypto, go to the playlist section, you will see Dr. KL, aka Mr. Beneficiary. These are the videos. If you want to learn about the Great Birth Certificate Deception, Lesson 2, 2022, watch all these videos. This will fill in a lot of blanks for you, my friend. So quick Mithril, check out KL's work. This is seriously so out of line that it begs to be explored on a different level. Not sure exactly what that's being referred to. Sometimes when I'm looking at chats late, it doesn't come through the way I want it to. If he was military, he worked for the government. Correct. John says, okay, I will email him, but I can show anyone because my social security number, but I will email Rice so he can use it to show people it's true. Just showing me a screenshot of you trading, saying that your social security number is traded is not proof. I need the website that it's being traded. I need to know the exchange of where your stuff is supposed to be being traded. I need to know like the actual information because things that are traded on exchanges have to go through the SEC and there are proper ways of being able to validate those things. I have not seen any proof of any of this in the years that I've done it, John. So hopefully you do have some actual proof, and I'm looking forward to getting it. On screen, you will see I got my email address posted up if you guys want to get lifetime access to my private website. Is being built because I am going to be operating a lot more in the private versus the public. If you're tuning in late and you didn't watch the full live stream, start from the very beginning. You need to watch this information from the beginning to the end to get a concise understanding, comprehension of what I'm communicating today. My email is right there, my friend, Rice Media Group at protonmail.com. There's 10 spots left for lifetime access. Plus, you're going to get a special swag bag of Rice TVX and Rice Against the Grain swag. My voice is actually, for whatever reason, getting a little bit affected here for talking for now 2 hours and 20 minutes. So let me lubricate my throat here. $10 spots left for that lifetime access if you're interested. If you want to support the channel, donate in any way, I've got information scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Make sure you sign up for my mailing list over at ricecrypto.com. If you haven't already, smash that like button. Thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. And another way that you could support the channel and take advantage of a great opportunity is my partnership that I've got going on with My Patriot Supply. You visit Prep with Rice. You could take advantage of these discounts. You can get a 3-month emergency food supply kit with up to 25 years shelf life, 6 rugged water-resistant buckets. It ships fast and free and discreet, and you will also get a free water filter system, an Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system that's valued at $279. You get the 90-day supply of emergency food and the free Alexa Pure Pro water filtration system, all for $797. It's almost $1,100 normally, so around $800. It's a way to support the channel and for you to stock up on some non-perishable foods. The second offer, and he's changed monthly, the second offer is a 2-week emergency food kit for just $127. There's information about the Alexa Pure water filtration system over at prepwithrice.com. It's going to help with nitrates, lowering the water levels. It's going to help with toxic cyanobacteria, which I'm not even really familiar with heavy metals, and that is only just the beginning. Visit prepwithrice.com so you can take advantage of those special discounts and support Rice TVX at the same damn time. I will have that information scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Going to finish up what everybody has to say in the chat, and then we're going to wrap things up. I really love this comment. Thanks, Miss V. Copy wrong. Are these the real false prophets? While all along we are sovereign, just claim you're covered by Christ and then play the MC Hammer. You can't touch this. Do, 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 do. Yeah, you can't touch this. It's like some rice, baby. You cannot manage ducks, but you can manage your sovereignty. The ducks do not listen to him. Why the hell does anyone else? There's that link for the Empower the People interview. If I visit the UK, it's going to be in my own accord. It's not going to be for anything to do with Ion. Miss V, every good serial killer uses 3 name personas. Just saying. There's that website for you guys to check out if you want some more information on what's going on with some of the questionable things with Matrix Freedom. I like long videos. Feels like having company for once. This is definitely one of the longest live streams I've done by myself, but it feels good to get this information out and about because a lot of people have been questioning things and I've been holding back. But it is what it is. I look at the motivation behind actions, and this behavior disturbs me. I appreciate you tuning in for sure. Thanks for letting me know. Quick, I need to get in touch with Croatic anyways. That's sweet of you. Thank you, Gary's Guzzler. You're my friend. I love Mark Passio, but he definitely doesn't really teach in the law area. He does talk about natural law. That's a little bit different, obviously. Larkin Rose, I know Larkin. I've been trying to get him on the show, and I can never get him to accept my invitation. So who knows? Appreciate it. Definitely check it out 100%. And after I'm done with the live stream, I will make sure that everything I shared today will be linked down below. What happened with Robert Michael, please, as details as you can. His claim is some agreement with you two he didn't agree to. His claim is some agreement with you two he didn't agree to. Interesting. So what had happened with me and Robert Michael? One is the interviews that I had done with him, he had a misdemeanor traffic violation that he was dealing with in another state. I think it was Arkansas, it was Kansas. I can't remember the state that it was. Unfortunately, I deleted the videos. Ultimately, he knew I was going to be questioning him about that, so he told me he wasn't doing any interviews, but yet he did do an interview with Beth Martins, and I did explain all this information to Beth Martins as well, and she decided that she wanted to interview him. I don't have a personal problem with Beth Martins. I don't have a problem with communicating with her personally, but I'm not going to be inviting Beth Martins back on my channel in any capacity because she's going to interview people that I don't support or endorse. I can't interview people like that. I can still talk with them and be friends, but that's the extent of it. When it comes to Robert Michael, after a while, the two of us working together, because we had done 6 or 7 videos, I think, maybe 5 to 7 videos in just my interviews with him. Ultimately, the misdemeanor traffic thing, he ended up not showing up to court for it. He had a warrant put out for his arrest. He ends up going to court and was found guilty and did, I believe, 2 weeks jail time. And it's real interesting. He's saying that this is about an agreement that he didn't agree to. What had happened was, after I started to get to know Robert Michael, I had asked him to help me with that. I wanted to get some help with putting together a PMA, a private membership association, and help with some of this information regarding the trusts. So I reached out to him. I told him that when I was ready, I would reach out to him. He agreed that since I brought him on my channel so many times and helped him out because people were paying him money to learn from him, that he would offer me in return the information that I wanted for the PMA and the information about what he's doing with the trusts at the time. So I'm going to go through here and I want to show you, and I'll show you the text messages. So I asked him, so you're doing an interview with Beth Martins, but you won't do another with me. He said, hey, bro, I told you I'm not doing one-on-one anymore. Everything I do is on the House of Marcus Fellowship website for members. All you got to do is become a member. My templates and editing videos are all up there. And Beth Martins is a member as well. I'm not looking to do a lot of interviews anymore. And Beth wanted to straighten a few things out. Okay. Trying to get that to focus in. See, I don't have nothing to hide here. I want to be transparent as I can possibly be. Why am I not getting clarity with this? All right, so you can see that we have an ongoing conversation, okay? I'm in the green color. I said, when I did interviews with you, you told me you'd help me with setting up a UA and a trust. That is the unincorporated association. That had to do with the PMA. Now I need to go to your website for that information. He said, a lot of time has passed since that offer, which means a lot has changed in my personal life as well as my work life, and I can no longer honor that. B, one thing I've learned over the last year is people that are handed something do not appreciate it or know how to operate it and look to me for every little question, which I don't have time to answer, hence the membership website. You seem awfully offended. Is there a problem with what I'm telling you? What I'm finding interesting over the last 2 years is people want me to interview with them for views and to get info on my work, but they don't want to be involved in our work unless it benefits only them rather than becoming part of the whole. You get where I'm going with that? And what he's referring to is me not joining his House of Marcus fellowship because I didn't want to attach myself to anything. So you can see here very clearly that he is saying a lot of time has passed since that offer. So he's acknowledging the offer, which means a lot has changed in my personal life as well as my work life. And I can no longer honor that. I can no longer honor the promise to you. And he's telling me the one thing he's learned is that people want stuff handed to him and they want people to interview him for views. When I brought Robert Michael on my channel, nobody knew who the hell Robert Michael was. I wasn't bringing Robert Michael on for views of my videos because I will definitely say 100% the videos with Kim Gogan, the videos with BB Backus, those got way more views. Speaking of BB Backus, I have not taken her course. When I do the video about the people I've interviewed, I will cover that in more detail. I have not taken her course. When she offered me the course, I was traveling. And due to commitment to traveling, I wasn't able to attend her course. So to continue on with Robert Michael, because it's funny, you're saying that Robert Michael is saying that he didn't agree to this, but he clearly is saying since that offer, which means a lot has changed in my personal life, I can no longer honor that. So he's acknowledging. I really wish this would clear up. And it really pissed me off because Robert Michael was able to make a lot of money off of people that watch my channel, whether subscribed or viewers of my channel watching those interviews. If you were one of those individuals, you know who you are. And Robert Michael was able to make a lot of money, actually able to make a living off of doing the interviews with me because he hadn't done interviews with very many people. It was mainly me. And he can't honor those things. So I can't support people like that. I said, wow, we should talk directly. I can't believe you said the shit you did. I'm about to do work, but let me know your availability for a private chat. He says, also, my work has been stolen and redistributed around the internet over the last several months. Well, it happened because you stole your information from Ken Cousins from Gemstone University and Pantera PCA. Again, Robert Michael from House of Marcus, which I call House of Shit, literally stole all of his information that he uses over at Ken Cousins' websites, Gemstone University and Pantera PCA. Check them out. You'll see that this is exactly what the deal is. And in the early interviews that I did with Robert Michael, I said even that. He's actually butthurt because he went to several different seminars that Ken Cousins did, and Ken Cousins apparently wouldn't acknowledge him or even answer questions that were asked to him by Robert Michael. And just so people also know, Robert Michael's parents were involved in the sovereign citizen free man on the land movement back in the 90s. So he grew up with parents who were researching this stuff. So he's like a second generation product of the free man on the land movement, but hurt by Ken Cousins, took all of his information from Gemstone University and Pantera PCA and other people's information and compiled his house of shit. And then he tells me I'm trying to get views off of him. He can't honor a promise because there's been time. He knew when he made that promise to me that I wasn't wanting that information right then and there. He knew it was going to be a little bit of time before I was ready to receive the information. But yet it was fine for him to do the interviews with me, get an income source, and then say, fuck off, Chris. I said, I don't steal and I've only helped you. I'm about to go live because I was doing a live stream. I'm not sure how you've helped me, bro. I do believe it's the other way around. People that come to me off interviews only want to be saved and don't want to do the work. Most, if not all of them, quit the membership when they don't get a golden goose to solve their problems. I'm not working with anyone like that, nor do I want to keep attracting them. I really don't know why it's not clearing up. There was more said. I mean, it's more and more said. So I considered Robert Michael a friend. Jared Poole. I don't know if I've gotten to this comment yet, but I really appreciate that super chat. That is extremely nice of you. Thank you so much. I'm scrolling through the comments before we get ready to wrap up today's live stream. Again, thanks for tuning in. Jared Poole, here we go. Just getting a chance to join, but appreciate what you're doing. Much love. Man, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that super chat. Means a great deal that you want to support my channel. Do hope you get an opportunity to take this live stream back from the very beginning and make sure you catch in the whole thing. But I do appreciate you, my friend. I want to see if there's anything else important being said here. There's an interesting conversation happening here. I'm trying to sift through. Thank you very much for this detail on Robert Michael, brother. Much love. Thank you. And it sucks, man, when people don't turn out to be who they say they are or who you think they are, man. It definitely sucks. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is what it is. Blue Water Partners too. Thank you, man. I appreciate. I mean, I try to put out what I can to the universe, and if the universe feels like it needs to throw something back my way, it does, and I always appreciate. So, we have a couple of negative comments on Gemstone. They charge upwards around 30,000. Well, again, I would have to look at this, Ava Terra, and you're more than welcome to email me some information. Again, I told people to do their own research. I wasn't vetting, just said there's good information there. I thought that they had somewhere in 2021 made the memberships available free. Prior to 2021, they weren't free. So I would have to definitely look a little bit more into finding out what they're charging. And if they're charging anywhere near $30,000 for anything, that doesn't sound very, very good. Appreciate. Okay, everybody. Jared, I cannot thank you enough, my friend Jared Poole. Thank you so much for the super chat. $49.99. It means a great deal. I will probably be back in another few days. I need to take tomorrow off. I got stuff I need to do for the rest of this afternoon and tomorrow. I will have a live stream or something going on Rice TV X Monday, and I'll do a part 2 with this where I'll be specifically just going over all the different people that I've interviewed, who I endorse, who I do not endorse, and why. So stay tuned for part 2 of this live stream. I do appreciate everybody for taking the opportunity to join today because time is our most valuable asset, and I appreciate you offering your time here. It's been a long live stream. We're at almost 2 hours and 40 minutes. So it is that time for me to rest my throat, for me to eat some food. Got some chores I need to do. It's raining here. I'm thinking about cleaning the studio today and tomorrow, rearranging and getting a new setup going on. So thank you again for tuning in for today's live stream. Make sure if you're just tuning in, if you tuned in late, catch the live stream from the very beginning and be sure to share this with people that need to hear this information. Again, I will try to dissect some of this up into smaller videos potentially, but regardless, this needs to be heard beginning to end in its entirety, in its fullness. And I hope that I provided value to you on today's video. So it's that time. If you missed any videos over on Rice TVX, I did put out a video live stream yesterday dealing with central bank digital currencies. How much time do we have? This past Wednesday, I did a video about the clown show, The Circus Act with Gary Gensler. This past Monday, I did an interview with Tone Vase, Bitcoin OG crypto minimalist. He's also known as the Ming the Merciless of crypto. If you missed those videos, go check them out on Rice TVX. And before we wrap things up, I'm going to leave you with a little positivity. I encourage you, as always, to be a blessing to others. Treat people how you want to be treated. Be the glitch that you want to see in the matrix. Be the change that you want to see in the world. And until next time, practice change.